Well, Pimp, we are live, and I was trying to get some people in here to join us, but unfortunately, nobody wanted to hang out with Pimp. I don't get it. Pimp is a big, lovable teddy bear. I mean, everybody should be like, "Hey, let's go hang out with Pimp on Sunday morning." But no, I don't know. I invited a bunch of people. If you guys want to come in here, let me know. I will get you the link. The people I've already provided the link to. Come on in at any time. But we have the wonderful comedic Pimpmunk to talk to us today about his new show, the Morning Wood. And I've had Morning Wood with Pimp, I think, twice now. It was quite enjoyable. I really do enjoy having Morning Wood with Pimp. Something I never thought I'd ever hear myself saying. So, yeah. But hey, Pimp, welcome back. You've been here before once. And I know you're not feeling well.
I'm not feeling my best today, but I'll be all right. How you doing?
Good. Oh, well, hey, we got Seder wants to come in. He wants to hang out with you, so you have a friend.
I have a lot of people, man. Everybody fucking loves me except
Let me get you the link to join us here, Seder. One sec.
No one don't like me is idiots. If you don't like me, you're an idiot.
Is that how you define it? Is that the definition? Somebody asked me that question the other day. Matter of fact, I'm not even kidding. Somebody asked me, Steve, what do you mean by an idiot? And I told her I'd get back to her. There's somebody that I just kind of met on Twitter. Really cute journalist, and I didn't really want to just throw out there what I think I mean by an idiot. So I was like, let me get back to you on that. And because that's kind of a great question, but
the best answer to that question, the best answer to that question is simply this: if I have to explain to you what an idiot is, then you're a fucking idiot.
I don't know. Do they? I mean, I think that there's probably different ways you can look at it and say, okay, well, you're an idiot because of X, or you're an idiot because of Y. And we all could be idiots sometimes. I mean, I think in certain things we all do some pretty idiotic stuff. But
not me.
You never do anything idiotic?
No.
Never.
No.
You started off on YouTube. That wasn't idiotic?
No, I didn't actually start off on YouTube. My first venture in online entertainment stuff was a site called Snapvine. It was It was a voice audio vlogging. It was audio, just voice only, and it got real popular. They ended up selling the site to whitepages.com for like $20 million. And the owner of the site actually came to me and said, "You're the reason I made $20 million. Well, give me some of that money, motherfucker." He didn't do that.
He didn't give you anything?
No, I mean, I was like one of the most popular guys, which wasn't a big deal. I did a lot of goofy comedy stuff, and this was before I really talked about atheism or anything, because I was into the religious talk for a while, and then that was before then, and then I started YouTube years later.
Yeah, but you always build yourself as a comedian, right? I mean, that's your forte. You want to make people laugh, whether you're funny or not. You don't give a fuck. You just want to make people laugh, right?
That's me. Well, comedy's not always funny.
It's not always funny, but yes, that is definitely true. No, it's very subjective, to say the least. And I mean, let me get to Seder. Where do you, as a comedian, though, kind of draw that line? Do you think there's anything that there's to be said where some things are just not funny, they're taboo? Do you believe you should have an open policy, open barn doors of anything that person wants to throw out there to be evaluated as humorous should be done so?
If the comedian's comfortable with it, then he should do whatever he fucking wants to.
Yeah, no, I kind of have to agree with you there. I think that it's up to the person listening to the joke whether they think it's funny or not.
You don't have to like the joke,
right?
You don't have to like the joke. No.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that things are going to be in poor taste. There are going to be things that people don't find humorous, and people will get offended by it. I get that, but the reality is, you don't have to be listened to. If people don't find Pimpmunk funny, don't listen to him. But a lot of people do, and a lot of people listen to him. So, hey, Seder, welcome.
Hey,
because Seder's got a sense of humor, right, Seder? Sort of.
Yeah, I do got a sense of humor.
So you when you listen to Pimpmunk, I mean, you can kind of go, hey, that's funny or that's not funny, and evaluate for yourself. You're not an idiot, right? You don't have to be told what's funny or what's not, right?
Nah, I find what I find funny, and trust me, absurd jokes don't make me mad.
No, I like the more.
Some jokes are absurd for the sake of being absurd, and that's why they're funny.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Absurdist humor is great.
Yeah,
but there's all kinds of. I mean, I try to go across the board, man. I do all kinds of different styles. I like to dab in a little bit of different types of comedy all the time. It's just whatever mood I'm in. I even try to be, shock jockeying is awesome, but sometimes you have to like confuse a motherfucker to make them laugh.
Well, I mean, but that's not the direction of your ones you want to do with your show, right? I mean, the Morning Wood. Where do you want to go with that? That's not
goofy.
Goofy. Okay.
Yeah, goofy.
Goofy, non-topical or topical or just whatever flows.
Topical to a point. It's the basis of the show is we start out what I call a starter topic. This is how I run my show. I do a starter topic, and then wherever that leads into, a lot of times we definitely go way off the reservation and start talking about things completely different than the original topic. But we start off with something to kind of get everybody in the mood in a way. I loosen up the puss a little bit with the topic, and then we go right down.
And then the rest of us kind of lubricate for you?
Yes.
Ooh, lubricate.
That's the best way to. That's a good way to describe it. By the way, I made a cardinal error today. I forgot to put Pimpmunk's YouTube channel in the video description. So fuck me. So I'm correcting that right now. Please don't flog me. So if you have not subscribed to Pimpmunk, what the fuck? And yes, I do know Reds is having Hang on a Flat Earth. I had planned this in advance, so I didn't mean to step on him. I had asked him to join. He said we thought he was being called into work. He decided to do a hangout there, an after show, and it's been going on for like 6 hours. So I didn't mean to step on Reds, but I already had this plan. Just to throw that out there, guys. So
fuck that dude.
Oh no, Reds is the best, man. There's nobody out there better to debunk Flat Earther than Reds.
Speaking of Flat Earthers, I had one admit to me earlier that she hears voices and she thinks they're demons, and that they tell her to kill people.
Surprise! Shock me here. Okay,
Debbie, dude.
Debbie. Yeah, no. You know what? I said from the beginning that woman has severe mental issues. I don't know what her issue. I mean, they are, but she's clearly not all right on the head. Matter of fact, George, and this is in the live chat, so it's public. He said he's done with a couple discords, and he's gonna be using the GDC Discord because she's this white noise, and he can't stand her just involving herself in these conversations because she doesn't add anything to them.
Yeah, no, she just yells over people, really. And I mean, I do that, but I apologize.
Yeah, but you don't have that weird giggle. It's creepy.
Pimpmunk, can I just say that you look like the perfect teddy bear?
Yeah, you said it. Well, I mean, how you gonna ask and you said it and you go ahead and say it?
You have a very valid point, sir.
Just throw it out there. Hey, everybody wants to go cuddle with Pimpmunk.
Everybody does.
I would just like to sit my head in your armpit and just sleep.
Have you ever been a little spoon?
No.
What? No. Never?
Nah, dude, I'm too big for that shit.
Never once? You don't know what it's like to be the little spoon?
Fuck
that actually hurts me.
I'm not a bitch, bro.
You don't have to be a bitch. Dude, there's nothing wrong with being, a little spoon. You just kind of
I didn't say anything was wrong with being the bitch. I'm just not the bitch.
Yeah, I didn't say you had to be like a bottom bitch or something, dude.
No, I've always been the spooner, not the spoonie.
And you just kind of like wrap yourself around them and just kind of like engulf them.
Let them melt just into you.
It's the same thing as rape, right?
I wouldn't know. I've never been raped, nor have I ever raped anybody. So
really, you've never lived, bro.
Yeah, I guess so. Certain things I'm really happy with the knowledge that I'll just go throughout life without having.
I've been raped and I've raped, so there you go.
Yeah, I know you have. Yeah.
Get Frank in here.
I invited Frank.
Frank, get your faggot ass in here.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with Frank.
Frank is the best bottom bitch.
I'm comfortable with Frank. I'm not comfortable with you.
I know. Because we never, you know why? Because we don't cuddle as much as we used to.
No, we don't.
Because you won't let me be the big spoon for a change. That's why.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Get in here, Frank. You have the link. Damn it.
Pussy.
So anyway, what's that? What's that say?
I called him a pussy. Join.
Yeah, come on, Frank. So if you guys haven't watched The Morning Wood yet, every morning, I guess is it every morning now?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. Okay, how the hell you do that? I don't know. But Monday through Friday. Yeah, you got stamina, man. You got excellent stamina. My age, stamina not so much, right? You just want to work your way through it.
Are you saying stamina?
Stamina.
Stamina.
He said stamina.
Dude, okay, look at I woke up this morning and I'm having coffee and brandy already. So
There
just
you
because
go.
I was like, I'm not fucking talking to Pimp without a little bit of alcohol in my system.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sober right now.
Let's see here. Oh, he just Frankie can't get in. I guess he just took a break for something. Okay, just a shit talk. I got you. I got you. So Monday through Friday, you have the morning wood, and you just invite regular people on, and you just pick a topic and start talking about it.
Sometimes we have bigger YouTubers,
Bigger YouTubers,
well-known YouTubers. Sometimes,
yeah.
You know, well, like the first episode I ever did, you was on. And
I'm not a big YouTuber.
No, I'm talking about we had Monday Matt. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Monday Matt. Yeah, Monday Matt's big.
And we've had, Paul. We've had, the last show Friday we had Nate Talks to You, and he's a pretty popular YouTuber. We've had several people, but it's not just about like having big names on. It's just about having a fun time, and that's what I do. I like to make people laugh. Whether you like my sense of humor or not, I don't. You can find someone that you do like, but just laugh. Stop with all this drama shit on YouTube.
You know what? I wish more people took that advice. There's so much more other things to deal with and talk about on YouTube than drama. I'm like, let other people have the drama. You want to have the drama? Be my guest. Knock yourself out. I'd rather have things like this. I'd rather have you go onto your show and enjoy myself and laugh, because that's some funny shit. I'm sorry, I enjoyed being on there. I was actually quite surprised. I mean, I figured I would enjoy going in because we have a good rapport, but I didn't realize it was fucking awesome. I really had a good time.
It is fun. It can be very fun, and I'm usually joined by Shayra, who's
she's awesome.
My unofficial co-host, as I like to call her.
Yeah, I'm surprised more people don't remember her. I guess she was big back in the day.
Yeah, she had a name back in the day. And then, when I did the Pimpmunk show, which was a very popular podcast at one point, she was one of the regular co-hosts on it. But now I'm just, like I said, we're just there to have fun. And I do, now, don't get me wrong, I do push the envelope. I try to do cringe humor sometimes just to fuck with people, especially the people on the show with me. Because I like to make people uncomfortable. It's fun for me.
He'll say shit to make you squirm and see how you react.
It's fun for me, but I don't give anyone anything that I don't do to myself. I wouldn't put anybody in a position where I wouldn't put myself in. And by what I mean by that is, when you come on my show, you expect to get a little heat. I always expect to get a little heat from people because I say things that are absurd, but there's a point to it also. We have to desensitize ourselves to bullshit sometimes, where we won't be so sensitive. And I think that comedy is the perfect weapon for that.
Do you also think that comedy is also a tool when you've experienced some kind of tragedy or something has happened that our minds don't want to accept or don't? They still need to process. The comedy helps to do that. It's a coping mechanism. Exactly.
Exactly what it was for me, dude. When I was like, I've talked about this before, I don't mind talking about it here. When I was raped when I was 10 years old, the media thing I started doing was start thinking about cartoons that made me laugh when I was being raped. Because I wanted to think of something funny when something bad was happening. So there you go. And if you
that makes sense.
If you hear singing in the background, that is my dad. He's got a pass from the recovery hospital today, and he's doing karaoke up there.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he's doing better. I know he had a lot of shit going on, so that's always a concern. People don't realize that in real life stuff is far more important than the shit that people see on the internet. Yeah. And your dad being in the hospital was a real life thing, and nothing takes more precedence than that.
Oh, absolutely.
My dad, as people know, passed away a few years ago, and it's been rough. I'm not gonna lie. I miss him to no end. I mean, he was just, somebody that I could go to, and he was a rock for me. And losing him was a huge thing. So I'm so glad that you have not experienced that. And unfortunately, I would love to say I hope that you never do, but the reality is, of course, parents do pass. So. But my dad, his son passed. My half brother, he passed, and so my dad always told me, that's the worst experience of your life is having a child pass, and so it's just, I guess it's nature. But
yeah, my mom lost my brother when I was very young. So.
Yeah, so that's so rough, man. It's so rough.
Yeah.
So who do you want to get on your show? I mean, what are the guests? I invited Jenna Marbles, by the way, like I said before you came on. I really wanted Jenna Marbles to come on and tell you to your face, she's not fucking marrying you.
Yeah.
I would have thought that'd be funny as shit, but she hasn't come in, so.
Yeah, well, I was pulling some shit trying to fuck with her a little bit, trying to get her on my show and told her to come reject me live. But yeah, she's one of them. I'm working on a couple of people, very good friend of mine, Jacqueline Glenn. I may be getting her eventually.
Well, I still, you know what? She's one of my white whales. I still want to have a conversation with Jacqueline, especially with the fact that one of her she did a video on one of my friends, one of my good friends, and my friend really still thinks that he wants to apologize to her, and because she just decimated him. And he doesn't think that way anymore. And he wants to tell her, I'm no longer that person. And I think that she should do that, because when you rip into somebody, and I'm not saying she did a bad job, she was right. But if somebody changes their position and somebody becomes a better person, and I think that we should acknowledge them for that, right? And the person I'm talking about is Wayne Fillmore. Wayne Fillmore had a video out. People may not even know this, and it's not a big secret, but he had a video out where he just said some completely theistic bullshit, right? And Jacqueline tore him up for it, and he was a young earth creationist at the time, and he's no longer that position, and so he wants to kind of set the record straight, and I think Jacqueline should allow him to.
Well, if she's even seen the responses or anything, I mean, you understand she's got a lot of people coming at.
He hasn't made any response. No, he hasn't done anything.
Oh, well, I mean, then she don't know not to do it then, so.
Well, I've messaged her before. I told her that, I've asked her, but I don't know. But we'll see. Like I said, she's one of my white whales.
Yeah, she's a nice person. She's had her problems in the past. We all have.
Oh yeah, no, I think she got fucked. But I tell you what, she's gotten hot lately, like hotter than usual.
Is it the new boobage?
It's all the above. It's the whole package. She just has retransformed herself, and I think she has. I think she's bettered herself. I think she's become a better person and a better YouTuber as well.
Yeah, big boobs make your person better.
You know what? If I had big boobs, I'd probably have more subs.
Yeah.
I have big boobs and I have no subs. What the hell?
We got to get you more subs if you have big boobs then.
I do. I'm not showing you my titties.
Well, there you go. See, if you don't show them, how do you expect to get subs?
Well, if I show a video, I'd have to show my satyr legs, and then the mystery's up.
Yeah, I don't think that having hairy legs is as sexy as a nice set of breast. But that's just me. I'm crazy. It's each his own, man. I mean, I don't judge. I don't judge. I really don't.
I judge.
You are a judge.
It's all in the fat lock, Steve.
Yeah, no shit, right? Yeah, I got a big YouTuber that I just met the other day. We had a great conversation for about 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours on the Discord. Do you know Rags?
No.
He has about 250,000 subs. He's one of the big gamers on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, and he wants to be a guest. I told him, yeah, sure. I asked him, and he's going to come on the Non Sequitur show and talk about social justice warriors and Gamergate. But yeah, he's got about 250,000 subs. Look at this! Look who just showed up! I don't know how she got the link. She hacked this. Did you see this? Hacker, Mel, scientist Mel.
What's up?
Dun dun dun.
I tend to get help from people, so
yeah, I jumped the video, but nothing else.
Mel, are you familiar with the wonderful comedic Pimpmunk?
I am not familiar with Pimpmunk. I should get familiar with him though.
Probably not. No, probably not.
Probably not.
No, he likes the ladies, so he's gonna be nice to you. He's mean to everybody else, though.
I'm mean to the ladies too.
That's true. You are equal opportunity.
No.
So what are you drinking, Mel, real quick? Is that an adult brev? Yeah. See, I've already been drinking a little bit this morning. I said, fuck it, it's Sunday.
Yeah, well, it's a Pinot Grigio mixed with a little bit of light lemonade. So it's kind of. I don't want anything heavy. When it's something kind of light. So there you go.
Pinot Grigio. Yeah, nice. Why can't you drink, Shaggy? Are you just not old enough?
19.
Oh. Well, you're in the military. You can drink You can drink beer at 18 in the military.
Well, actually,
oh goodness.
I can't buy it, but I could drink it at home here in New Mexico.
That's true.
Think.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
But we don't have any alcohol in the house. Oh well.
So by the way, we're actually.
What kind of comedy does he do? I'm sorry. I was going to just ask what kind of comedy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Great comedy.
Great comedy.
Rape.
No, he said rape comedy.
Oh, rape comedy. Oh,
I mean nothing but rape jokes 24/7.
Oh boy, nothing but rape jokes. How's that going for you?
He's on the edge. He's cutting edge material.
Yeah, man. I rape everybody though, so I'm equal opportunity rapist.
Well, yeah. Steve's gonna be in trouble if he meets you then, huh?
No, because he will never be a little spoon. He's always the big spoon.
I'm always the
wait. I would be in trouble. Yeah, wait.
Is there ever a little spoon rapist?
Yes, I guess not, huh? Well, yeah, I think so. No, I don't think you have to be an aggressor. I don't know how that works. I have no idea. That
would be a feminist rapist, right?
I'm not sure.
And it's a social justice rapist.
I didn't realize there were so many technical things to be a good rapist. I have news to me.
Warrior.
It's all kinds of craziness, man.
Yeah, see, I mean, I don't mind a good verbal rapage, but
all the red tape you gotta go through in the rape world is crazy.
You don't know what you walked into, Mel.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, Pimp is one of those. I don't know what the word would be. It's not cutting edge, but he's on the edge.
I don't give a fuck.
He's edgy.
Don't give a fuck, comedian. Yeah.
He's edgy.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't do just rape jokes. I also do child molestation jokes.
Okay.
And bestiality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm a satyr. I know all about bestiality.
He's one of those people you just have to like take for what it's worth, I guess.
And it's
wow.
Hey, Steve, I've always said if you give power to a word, the word will have power over you.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I think that everybody should have a voice, and you know, if people want to make light of certain things, and people can listen to it or they don't. I don't have to agree with it. I don't, you know, and I understand that people do it as a coping mechanism, right?
But it's a joke. But I make jokes about everything. I don't like to deem myself as a certain type of comedian. If I'd say anything, I'm just an improv guy. I like to make jokes off the top of my head. There's no certain like type of joke I like to make. It just give me my opportunity, and I'll try to make a joke. If you laugh, you laugh. If you don't, well, fuck you. You're stupid.
So I think we've determined that anybody who doesn't laugh at his jokes is an idiot.
Yes,
obviously, man. This is intellectual humor.
Okay.
Mel's trying to wrap her head around this one. She's like, I thought this was going to be about science.
There's a lot.
Oh goodness!
Well,
I used to make a joke. You know, I actually made a joke at work the other day. They were talking about something. I said, "Well, you know, I do have a chemistry degree, a biology degree. I'm just one head injury away from being Dexter. I know how to hide the bodies." And so I just sat there and smiled. And everybody just looked at her, just like, "I didn't just hear you say that." Like, I used to tell that to the high school kids I used to teach. I'm like, "Come on, guys!
When you know about lye and hydrofluoric acid, you can do amazing things, right?"
Pigs and acid, man. That's the way to
hydrofluoric acid's good stuff.
Oh goodness. So yeah, just you never know what's going on behind the smile.
That's something we all want to try to think about. No. It would scare the shit out of me to find out that like the nice, intelligent people are the ones that are burying the bodies, you know? Or in your case, destroying them with acid.
Well, you know, pigs first, then acid, whatever's left, you know. But to be fair, I do understand I am probably already on an FBI watch list just for being in grad school for chemistry. That was what they told us the very first day. As congratulations, you are likely now on an FBI watch list just because that's what they do. All the people who go to graduate school in the harder sciences.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's scary as fuck, but it's probably true.
Yes. It's probably true. So people with certain levels of education have a type of standard we're kind of put to that others are not. So yeah, I imagine I'm probably watched by the FBI. I don't really care. I have no intention of doing anything. So
you know what? I doubt they know who the fuck you are.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the
camera right now.
When it comes to the FBI and those guys, you're just a number. You're just like a file on a computer, right?
Yeah, I'm a blip until I do something, and then all of a sudden, then it's national news. She was being watched by the FBI back in.
Pimp is more likely to be the one that be watched. I listen to his shit. I've been on his show. It's like, yeah. Pimp, do you got a CIA file out there somewhere on you?
Probably.
I wouldn't doubt it. We probably all do in some way. I mean, I had security clearance, so I had a file on me, but
I'm on a YouTube blacklist, so fuck it, don't matter.
No
I'm a mythical creature.
Thank you.
I'm on a list.
And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, which, you know, we all love to be corrected, and, you know, there is a fucking blacklist, I think. I do believe that.
No, there is.
Okay, you know,
I used to.
I don't want to be paranoid.
I used to think it was bullshit, but there is. I used to think it was bullshit, but I do believe there is.
Yeah. So why would be the advantage for that? Why would YouTube want to have such a list for advertiser revenue? I mean, I get the fact they don't want to promote things like Nazism and white supremacy. Fuck that shit, right? I agree, 100%. Get rid of them. But for the average person, why would they want to have such a blacklist where a normal person like yourself just having a YouTube channel, it gets on that list and gets demonetized for having innocuous videos? I don't get it. What's the reasoning?
It's stupid, but here's the deal. I'm not sure if there's a list anymore. Everybody's getting affected by this shit now. If you're not like a major Logan Paul or Jake Paul, they don't really give a fuck about you. And it's because YouTube doesn't make money. The only people that actually make money for YouTube is those guys, and it's done, you know, clearly by sponsorships. So they don't give a shit. So that's why they're, you know, paying all their attention to like RedTube and YouTube TV and shit. The creator really doesn't mean nothing anymore. However, I hate to say this, but it's just true. CNN and Fox News and shit like that never really paid attention to all the ad apocalypse and, you know, people getting infected by the YouTube stuff until the shooter happened. Now CNN's paying attention to what's going on to YouTubers, what content creators. Now, don't get me wrong, there was the worst possible way to do it, you know, but luckily she was the only one that died, and she brought an opinion, opinion of many YouTubers that we're getting fucked. Now, most YouTubers would not do what she did, of course.
Right, but I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. But what is being brought to their attention? And by the way, hang on, let me get you in here, Stone. Welcome back, Stone. You guys may not remember him, but Stone and I go back to the day I started on YouTube. Actually, well, at least broadcasting on YouTube.
Hey, another old person.
He's been around a long time. He's known me a long freaking time. Welcome back, Stone.
What's up, buddy?
Is your mic not working? Okay, well, you know what, Stone? Fuck off. No, I'm kidding. Oh, there he is. Wait, 1 sec. Stone, unmute. Hey, buddy. Hi. Holy shit. It has been ages. You look good.
Yeah, thank you. It's
got older.
I did. A lot has changed since I was last hanging around here. I think I was about 16 years old the last time I talked to you guys.
Yeah.
I am 19 years old now, and
my exact age.
You've hit puberty and you're an adult now. Congratulations. Life is gonna fuck you like it has the rest of us.
Oh, I already have a very good job. I'm making a living and all that. I drive an 18-wheeler now.
Awesome, dude. And you going to school at all?
No. I want to be a truck driver.
What about astronomy?
That's what I'm doing.
Awesome.
What about astronomy and science?
That's more of a hobby for me now.
Okay,
but
that's cool. That's cool. Well, this isn't about you. This is about Pimpmunk.
That's not him, dude. I don't give a fuck.
No, I don't. This is a free for all. Go ahead, knock yourself out, guys. It's just no. I was surprised. I just got a message from him, like, "Holy shit, man! This guy hasn't been around in years," and it's nice to see an old face. You know,
yeah,
an old young face.
Yeah, no, he's not even shitting. He was. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you were in. I only did one best of video, and you were in that one. And that was the one with Scott Spangler and what's his name? God damn it, Christian Hillbilly. He was under Pops. Remember Pops?
Oh, he says he's the guy who used to drive a school bus, right?
Yes.
Yes, him. He was cool. I liked him.
Oh, he turned out to be a psycho son of a bitch.
Oh, he did? Really?
Oh, yes. He was. Oh, he's just. Yeah, trust me.
Oh, okay.
Anybody who knows Christian Hillbilly, I mean, my life feed, I'm sure, can testify. Christian Hillbilly is bad news.
Okay. See,
this was years ago before I knew who he was too, though.
At the time, he seemed all right, but
Pops was funny as fuck.
I'm really out of touch with everything now.
No, he was hilarious, but I mean, no, he. I'll have to tell you another time the creep out story that he did, and it just so sick, just nasty.
Ooh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. But another time, we're not here for that.
Right, that's right.
Not going to bring the mood down.
Yeah, well, the Pimp's here. How much lower can we go?
Good point.
You know,
I mean, we could be under Pimp. That's pretty low.
Well, Pimp might like that. It's been a long time since anything's been under Pimp.
I've got more pussy bags than you have on purpose, bro. Come on.
Oh, what have you just fell into it? Dude, I was walking down the street. I fell, and there it was. Just, bam.
Hey, man, I'll have you know, when I was 4, I had sex with another 4-year-old.
Yes, you have.
under a blanket.
When you was 4-year-old, you had sex with another 44-year-old, probably.
Did you have children?
I'm not you, Pimpmunk. No, we did not have children. Although last I heard, she OD'd on heroin in an alley.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's good.
That went dark very quickly.
I mean,
it was dark to begin with.
I mean,
yeah, this started off dark when I went live.
Yeah, you didn't go nowhere with that. You just went. You're supposed to go down then up.
It's supposed to take you for a ride, man.
Hey, man, Steve should know by now not to let me into hangouts. I take them in different directions than we want.
I know I've known better to let Pimp into hangouts, but I still do it. But why are you in here twice, Stone? By the way, that's weird.
What? Oh,
twice.
Yeah.
You're ghosting.
It's Taternet.
Well, you guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
I can also see your beautiful hat.
My beautiful hat. Yes. The
fact that you have less beard than me.
Somebody suggested Bo Holbo suggested you could put Debbie and Betty Van Velsen into the hangout. That would make the stream worse.
Oh goodness!
Can I bring Debbie in?
No.
Why not?
Because Debbie is nothing but white noise. She has absolutely nothing to her conversation.
Have you heard Lemon Bird?
Yes, I had to deal with Lemon Bird the other day.
Can I bring Lemon Bird in here? At least he's respectful. For fuck's
sake. Are you serious?
Oh goodness!
If you're serious.
Okay. I'll ask the panel. That's up to them. But Lemon Bird, I didn't know this person. And by the way, Stone, you're breathing in your mic. Come on, mic etiquette. Okay, so I know I don't want to talk. What happened was we make these podcasts, right? And I have raw footage, and that raw footage goes to the Not Sequitur show just as a raw upload, and not processed or shit, and people can play by my mic, and I get that. But on the podcast, we run it through all this audio filter and do nice shit, and it sounds amazing. But I just upload the shit without the ability to do that, so it sounds a little odd because the way I'm recording it. But this stream like this, it doesn't have that issue. But anyways. So, Lemon Bird, I had George Hanuk contact me, and he said, Steve, can you come into Jim Panda's server and talk to this guy about science and shit like that? I said, sure. So I finally got in there, and I ran into this guy named Lemon Bird. I got to tell you, there's different degrees of dumbness when it comes to flat earthers. There's dumb. There's exceptionally fucking stupid. And there's fucking, you might as well be a fucking potato.
Debbie
is not even at that level. She's not even at that. She's noise. She's just. You need to turn up that fucking noise gate to just block her out. She has nothing. But Lemon Bird, he was running script the entire time, and I thought to myself, this is somebody who's just got to be a Poe or literally just reading stuff off of a script because it was surreal. So I don't really see any advantage of bringing somebody like that on unless somebody just wants to fuck with them, because that's all it would be, just the mock.
Yeah.
How incredibly mental he is on the ability to deflect anything that's of reason when it comes to explaining him simple things like evolution or science. So,
I mean, last time I had a conversation,
but who knows? Do you want to bring him in? Mel, do you want to fuck with one of the dumbest flat earthers you've ever seen?
Oh man, I don't know that I want to do that because it's just exhausting after a while.
Yeah, no, that's the point. It's a mentally draining exercise. Sure.
Yeah. I'm supposed to record an audio podcast here in an hour and a half, and then I'm showing up on SciStrike's channel later on to do climate change. So it's like I can't drain everything before.
What time is your SciStrike thing?
I'm asking them right now. Let me. I know we normally have it on Sundays, so 5 Eastern, so that would be 4 Central. So right after I'm done recording my audio podcast with a guy who does lighting for films, we're going to talk about the science of like film lighting. So that'll be fun. And then we're going to hop over and talk about climate change. So
you should talk about this. You know, you can get Blender. Blender is really you can practice lighting things with Blender and techniques that really works.
Oh, that's cool.
Real quick, Stone, by the way, it's been several years. Have you seen anything that we've been doing on the channels lately? I mean, have you noticed how many things we've had, like with Ken Hovind and things like that?
I did hear about the Kent Hovind deal a while back. Do you guys still mess with him?
Yeah, we did about 8 debates with him. It's because the reason I asked somebody in the live chat actually was like, Steve, when are you going to debate Ken Hovind? I'm like, first of all, I've already had him on 10 times, and I've already proved to him that a couple of his claims were wrong. And I actually even asked him, you know, I'm happy to go through every one of your claims at this point, and he said he would. But after he got demolished by Arn, I don't think he's coming back. I really don't. He got so beat up, it was ridiculous, and I think that's fine. That was kind of the intent. You know, the intent was to have Arn hands free, go after him and shit all over his parade, and well, Arn did.
Okay, well, no. Other than that, I haven't really seen much of anything really. I haven't been very active anywhere really.
Well, flat Earth is a thing now.
Oh yes. I mean, it was kind of a thing when I was around.
Not as big as it is now.
It's huge, and now it's fucking cancer.
Which is weird. Yeah, it is because you have more people out there arguing against it, and yet you have more people that are fucking turning to flat Earth. I don't understand.
I mean, is it really that huge, or you just pay more attention to it?
How many?
Maybe it may be true. We might just pay more attention to it.
I don't really see how it can get bigger. That's quite impressive to me because
that's because they're into other shit too. I mean, Debbie, fuck.
There aren't very many compelling arguments for the flat Earth, and all the ones that you hear are just the same ones you've been hearing for the longest time now. So that kind of just begs the question for me: how do they get more people?
Well, would you like to know a bit about that? Because there's probably a very good reason why we're seeing an increase in conspiracy theorists. And it has to do with the fact that whenever there's some kind of change, massive change going on in some aspect of society, if we look at the current administration and how a lot of people are scared in regards to politics, we see an increase of conspiracy theorists and people moving towards that type of thought because they're kind of in a little bit of panic mode. So their brains you have 2 sides of your brain. You have your brain, that's like the fight or flight aspect. That's like, oh my gosh, I hear a stick crack in the woods. That means, you know, I'm going to die. And then you have the other half of your brain that's like, oh, that was just a light crack of a stick. It was probably just a squirrel, not a bear. That side of the brain that's like, oh my God, I'm going to die, is a little bit on overload with certain individuals. So that's why they don't have the rational side going, no, that's just a squirrel. It's not a giant bear that's going to eat me. So we are going to see a rise in conspiracy theorists, and they'll probably hop over to the flat Earth camp because there's some kind of, you know, that part of their brain is on overload due to all of this other inconsistency and this weirdness and change and stuff that's going on. That's not the norm. Is what
I mean, you think that, but I literally convinced one that bagels come from seeds that grow into bagel trees, and then you pick the bagel.
You know that
they're not rational.
I can actually see what you're saying there because I have a lot of 2A pro 2A friends on Facebook, and you know they used to not post all of this nonsense about crisis actors and you know, the fake mass shootings, but just recently now they're doing it. And they're going back to all of these shootings that they used to act like they were real, but then, you know, when the narrative works, they like to act like it was faked. So, but
there's some comfort in fantasy over reality. So, yeah.
You'd rather believe a lie than believe a cold truth.
But I think people do that again as a defense mechanism. I think a lot of people get into conspiracy theories like that because they don't want to face the harsh reality of the situation.
Yes, that as well. I mean, you know, cognitive dissonance is horrible in being faced with a truth in any particular thing that goes against something that you have personally believed for a long time. that's painful. It's exceedingly painful. And, you know, people will turn to all kinds of weirdness and stuff to avoid whatever the actual truth is that is associated with the thing that they don't want to believe, if that makes sense. So.
Oh, absolutely makes sense. So many people messaging me here. Hey, Pimp, people want to come in and talk to you for a change.
A lot of
Wow,
people
I like
just
that.
want more than what they're given. Dude, a lot of people just want more than what they're given. And you know, I mean, it boils down to like people are bored with their lives. In some cases they're scared, like you were saying. It's just I think we all want a crutch in some way, but some of us use logic and other, you know, mechanisms, but some people use dumbass conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for that. I mean, we all like to be rational thinkers. We all try, and I don't make the argument that we all succeed. That it's just you can't. I don't think you can ever be fully rational. But I think the goal is to think critically. Matter of fact, I'll put arguments up on the Great Debate community. I know most of them probably don't fly. Some of them might be horrible, but I'll float them, and then I'll get people's opinion on them. I just did one today. I'm not proffering the argument as, oh, look, Steve has this foolproof argument. It's like, no, let's just throw it out there and talk about it, and then learn, the better ways to have argumentation and better ways to think critically. And I think that's the important thing, to strive that we don't have false beliefs. That's just me, though. And so conspiracy theories are false beliefs.
Several different perspectives. Well, there is something that I have a little mini series that I do. It's in 1-minute videos called Cognitive Bias. And one of the things that I did last was clustering illusion, how our brains are just fantastic at making patterns and everything in entirely random events. And sometimes it takes several different eyes to look at a thing and go, okay, this is an actual pattern thing going on, but that's why scientists also have multiple forms of instrumentation in order to rule out our brains trying to solve everything for us all the time, because sometimes it's just not there. You're just like,
you need that different sources of evidence to kind of self-evaluate each other, kind of thing. You have your self-assessment, and then you have a secondary evaluation from an external source, and I think that's perfectly fine to try to say, hey, am I being rational here? And look who popped in. David popped in. Holy shit. Look at that mane of hair. Aren't you guys jealous?
You're a beautiful beast.
He's a beautiful man.
Well,
Yeah.
Where's his guitar? He needs a guitar going on with that hair.
Oh, do it, man. Look at here, Dave. Come on. We can jam right now. Let's do it. Come on. I've been practicing a lot, man.
Play Hotel
a lot of boy toys in Canada.
I've even been growing out my picking. Look at, I'm not even lying. I've grown out my picking thumb. That's how much I've been trying to practice guitar lately. So,
I haven't played guitar in years at this point. Same with piano and the drums.
Well, we are going to have a music hangout. I've been postponing it for different reasons. People that wanted to join weren't able to make it. So I've been postponing it, but we wanted to have a music hangout, and we're going to go over things like how to do a harmonic minor, melodic minor, how to do a major pentatonic scale. Things like that.
This is kind of related. This is kind of related. Have you heard Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit in major chord? It sounds like a JCPenney ad.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, I haven't listened to it, but you're not the first who's told me that. And I haven't checked it out yet. But yeah, I would love to hear.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Dun, dun,
it's like a Macy's ad.
Dun, 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 dun,
Come into Macy's for our brand new sale. They have destroyed Kurt Cobain's work.
It definitely sounds like a pop song as soon as you do it.
You know what? I give you my words. At some time today, when I have a chance, I'm going to figure out a way to. How do you do it? I mean, is it already out there? Somebody's already did it. They've transposed it to a major key.
Yes,
it's out there.
Obviously, but I mean, where's that? Okay.
Yeah, just type it into YouTube.
Just transposing it, right?
Smells Like Teen Spirit major.
Oh God.
Just type that into YouTube. I can guarantee you. Everybody always wonders what do I type into the YouTube bar? It's the most simple thing you can think of.
Here we go. The second.
You'll probably find it.
Let me get AO. I invited you and Shannon. I'll get you a link. You guys don't have to join, but if you wish to come in, it's up to you.
I'll say I just got done an interesting chat with Chemo.
Oh God, no! Don't bring Chemo into this. I hate
Wait,
Chemo.
who?
I hate Chemo. No, you don't want to know who Chemo is. Don't ask. He's worse than fucking cancer.
Gosh.
It's weird.
Well, that narrows it down because there's a lot of people worse than cancer.
He's a flat earther.
He's a step above Debbie.
Oh.
Okay, well,
only because
so
he's
not
British.
as bad as Debbie, but okay.
He's male British Debbie.
Male British Debbie.
Pretty much.
Wait, Matt, we haven't met Debbie
You're gonna
yet?
tell us anyways, Dave. Just say it.
Wait,
Why don't
first
you
of all,
have the
Mel,
both of them in a chat and have them talk and just sit there and watch
have you
them
met Debbie yet, Mel? Have you listened to?
Have
you listened to Debbie?
I have
Oh,
not.
fuck.
I just
She's got chipmunkitis, that voice that some women get. And I mean, it's okay. I know a few women with chipmunk voices that are cool women. They're like my broginas, but Debbie.
Nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, yeah. Debbie's worse than that. It's hard to explain because Debbie starts off okay. You can at least have a convo of some kind. I mean, she's way off the fucking mark, but she's not in a delusional state. And then as time progresses, it gets worse and worse. And towards the end of the conversation, she's treated in this. I'm blue baller.
Yeah, she just yells over you half the time.
Or starts like singing nursery rhymes.
Goodness.
She'll go off on tangents, I swear to God. And she'll just start preaching at you. Ugh. And then she'll get mad at you because she thinks you're trying to preach science at her. Don't preach at me. I don't want to hear your preaching. Then she goes on a 5-minute preaching tirade.
And yet she's popular. Like, we're talking about her now. I don't get that. I mean, like, what is it about her?
I told you she's cancer. She's infecting us.
How can you preach science? I wonder if that's a thing. Can I go like down outside like a university and like have a bunch of people that talk about evolution and just
have you heard the good word about theory?
Don't question it, okay?
Have you heard the good word of Darwin?
Have you heard prayer candle?
Can I go outside at church and do that? Do you know?
Let me tell you about gravity.
It's have you heard the word of L. Ron Hubbard?
Oh, I have that book.
I
actually have that book out of sheer curiosity. I went through and started reading it, and I'm like, this is Dianetics. I bought that book and I was reading it. They have a chapter in there where it teaches you how to train your eyes to not need glasses.
Yeah, no, I tried reading. I'm not gonna lie. I tried reading Dianetics years ago, decades and decades ago. Right? I didn't even know what the fuck I was even reading.
Yeah, I got a quarter of the way through that, and I've read a lot of absurd things.
I don't want to read
bizarre as fuck. I'm like, it's this dude bizarre. I don't remember this. I remember something like that with the eyes. Yeah, it's
Dianetics.
Yeah, weird. And something about you can get energy out of machines or something.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. And then I saw somebody that works at Kent Hovind has some kind of metal detector thing that you put on your hands that zaps you, and I'm like, is that like the Satan detector?
No, you know what? Let me tell you what that is, because I've actually built one of those back years ago. My girlfriend at the time was into some woo-woo shit, and I kind of was a little bit too. But it's called the Zapper, and you can get the parts at Radio Shack, which I was a Radio Shack store manager, so I knew how to build it. It uses a 555 timer, and you basically what it does is produces a frequency, a bistable, what's called a bistable circuit, and it produces this current or this frequency that goes through you, and it's very low current. And what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to kill the flukes in your intestines, which are parasites. And for some reason, that's supposed to like cure you of all these maladies. Like she had fibromyalgia, she had ovarian cyst. Yeah, it's supposed to cure. Yeah, this lady, I think her name was Dr. Cook, and I don't think she was a real doctor.
God. Yeah.
And this is back before your day when the neuropathy crap was a lot more even woo-woo than it is now. But she had this belief in a book on it that if you destroy these parasites, these flukes, you'll be cured of everything. And so what the Zapper was supposed to do was produce a resonance that would cause them to explode and die. Conceptually kind of sounds right, but she wanted me to build one for her, and I did. It has a little tingle, but yeah, that's what it is. Seriously, I think that's what you're referring to.
You're basically sonicating fluke worms to the point.
But it's not sonic. It's not sonic. It's actually a current that's going through you, but it's a frequency.
It's an electrical current.
Electrical current. Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like one of the like an ultrasound or something like that. You're just going to ultrasound these flukes to death or something.
Yeah. No. Somebody could do some research on that, because like I said, I was back in the mid '90s or something like that for me. So it's been a long time. I haven't really dealt with that in years. But if somebody wants to check it out, it's called the fluke something or other. So
yeah,
I think I saw an episode of the X-Files on this.
Could have been. The CIA keeps this information from you. So
So, Steve.
Yes, David.
So I ran this idea by Chemo that I was saying, because he was talking about the fact, all the Earth shots are composites, so they're fake.
Oh, are we still talking about this?
Well, I wanted to run this by Steve, see if this makes sense as an analogy. I asked him, I said, if you have a 100-meter long hallway with a portrait all along one wall, but the hallway is about a meter wide, how would you photograph the whole portrait to look at it all at once, right? And if you photographed a series of pictures and stitched them together, would the image that come out be fake, or would it be representative of the whole hallway?
It's okay. The thing is, when you have a composite, right? Yep. Each individual photo is real. So even though the composite isn't quote real, it is a representation of all the images put together. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly legit.
He says that makes it fake. And what I said is you could have
Photoshop. That's what she says. Photoshop.
Yeah. It's not fake. I mean,
I know this.
They're using that word very equivocatively, right? When they say fake, that means I have produced it in a way to have it, either for deception or I've created it through CGI. That's fake, right? When I make something through Blender, it's fake, sure, but that's not a composite. It's still real pictures in there. So even if he says that the whole is quote unquote fake, it doesn't take away from the fact that each individual photo was taken from a fucking satellite. That's up there.
And I mean, the other thing that they bring up is duplicate clouds. And I mean, the clouds are in motion. So if you're taking the pictures over time, the clouds move into the next shot. You're going.
How does he explain that how does he explain each individual photo? They're not fake. Clearly, you can't say that. They're not composite.
I understand that.
She says the satellites are fake. Or Chemo does too.
I don't know.
Are taking up on balloons.
I was surprised that he came back and just said, "Yep, no, it's fake." Okay. Fair enough.
John, you ever do flat Earth debates anymore or at all?
John and me?
Yeah.
Nah, not really, dude. I mean, I have discussed a few people, but not really. I haven't done any shit like that in quite a long time.
You wanna?
No.
Come on, come on.
I want to see you roast Debbie. I want to see you roast Debbie with your rape jokes.
Nah, dude, I really don't. I mean, I leave that up to you guys because you guys are really passionate about it. I don't have a passion for it anymore. I mean, I respect the people that do. Don't get me wrong. I just personally don't have the passion for those kind of arguments anymore.
I understand that.
I don't see the point. That's just other than saying this is how not to do things. But you do one video on that and you're done.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I did this before. It's like here. I
like Mel's approach. She just basically kind of gives them a few seconds, and then after a while says, "Here's a phone number to this mental health place. Go get assessed." I'm okay with that.
I do that. I'm like, here's a website on how to do.
I wasn't a lie. That was
for yourself. I
told me she hears voices.
Yeah, no, I'm not even being hyperbolic or metaphorical. She literally gives them numbers to mental health people and so you need to go get help.
Best way to do it.
I figure, hey, you have to exercise to keep in shape every now and again. I suppose it's a good idea to exercise futility every now and again too.
I don't get trolled often by flat earthers because that's what I do. And after a while, they're like, I don't need a psychologist. I'm like, okay, therapy's a helpful thing for lots of people. It's okay.
Do you guys ever debate with the chemtrails people?
We are going to be doing one coming up. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds.
We're working on something.
Debbie is.
I got to get back with Geo Stryber on that one. He wants to be a part of that.
Can I bring Debbie to that? She's a chemtrail people.
No, Debbie. This is a Debbie-free zone.
Like Debbie will not anything that Debbie believes in. It doesn't matter because Debbie will not present a rational version of what other people were irrational.
She doesn't even try. It's not even. She has literally nothing to add to the conversation.
Debbie says that Catholics are pagan fish worshippers and that the axis of the sun or the axis of the earth. She says globies or globetards believe that that's an actual pole going through the earth.
Okay, all I have to say
hats to hide their super long heads.
Oh yeah, and that it's bowing to the sun, and that's more pagan fish worship because the pagans do it all. They're the Satanists.
Please tell me you guys call her Little Debbie. Please tell me you guys call her Little Debbie Snack Cake.
Oh my God, that's my new
I don't call her anything. I'm sorry.
Snack Cake.
I call her my bagel bitch.
I have huge ethical concerns because I don't think Debbie's quite all there, and I just
not. I've demonstrated she has psychosis.
Can I ask a serious question here? Do you guys really think she's mental?
Yes.
Then why do y'all have discussions with her?
I don't.
Because
That's what I just
fun.
said.
Because it's fun. I like hearing people get mad at her.
Okay.
He kind of shows up and
Okay,
interrupts, though, right?
At some point, so I had a discussion with somebody before, and people are like, "Why aren't you on people's channels debating these other people that say all this stuff all the time?" And I'm like, after a while, it's like punching a child in the face.
Exactly.
I'm going to literally hand them their butt. They're going to pick up their ego as they walk out the door, and then I'm probably going to do more damage to
The
them.
person with the boobs is making sense.
It's not my fault, man. She joins the Hangouts without like invitation. She just joins.
Well, on the Discord, yeah. But Mel, here's the reasoning. The reasoning is, it's very easy to steal candy from a baby, but the candy's still sweet. So that's the way.
I can just go to the store and buy my own candy. I don't have to steal it from a kid.
I'll buy you some candy.
Except for Pimpmunk and Stone, people have said that this hangout has the best hair. Thanks.
Hey man, if only you could see my hair.
I don't have any fucking hairs. Well, I got a big old bush, but other than that,
can we see that?
Dude,
no, he's a manscaper, I understand.
No, I'm actually a manscaper. I am a manscaper.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I think Debbie has, just issues, and so I stopped talking to her. I told her the other night in Discord. I muted her.
I have ethical
concerns. Who says the pyramids are built out of petrified giant flesh has got some issues.
No, that one's true. That actually is a fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
what is she? She is unique. She just kind of creates the shit out of blue, or.
Apparently, it comes from some place called Mud University, which is not a university.
Great if she steals from somebody else.
It's some YouTube channel.
She's a meme stealer. Dude, she literally told us she came to the realization that the Earth is flat through memes that make fun of the flat Earth.
Yeah, well, memes are a very powerful tool for promoting good science and shit like that.
Propaganda.
Oh goodness.
Oh, I can't stand when I'm having a discussion with somebody and they use memes as an argument.
I love being mean. There's 1,000 memes about me. Being a meme means you've made it somewhere.
No. I don't mind that. What I'm saying is when you're having a discussion with somebody like on Facebook, talk to people, and they bring out memes in order to try to refute you, and it's like, just stop, just stop.
That's like having a conversation with someone who wants to talk in emoticons.
I don't have emoticon speak, and I don't do text speak so well.
I love Luna. I
refuse that. I refuse to use text speak. I don't say LOL. I don't do any of that. I feel like that sucks the creativity out of me. If I
don't mind using text speak.
I don't do that shit either.
What's worse is meeting people in real life offline and they say LOL.
That's okay. That's a bit much.
I want to choke them the fuck out.
Hey, that's funny, John. LOL.
If you say LOL in person, then you deserve to die.
Oh, I knew somebody who said LOL.
JK.
Say LOL.
BRB.
Well, now
they said LOLs. And I'm like,
no. Worse. Explain this one to me. Lugs. What the fuck is lugs? I don't get that.
I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
That's G-Man's version of LOL is lugs.
Lots of hugs.
G-Man says that?
Yeah, G-Man says lugs.
That would be
you're
lugs.
laughing so hard to get something in your throat, and that's a lug. If you have like something in your throat and you're laughing, kind of like loogies, but lugs.
Is he talking about
lugs? Look up gang sex.
Is he talking about like lug nuts?
We haven't figured it out, Stone. We have no idea.
So he'll say something witty, and then he'll go like lugs. Is that how it goes?
No. Well, no, not quite. He would instead of typing out like LOL, he would type out lugs instead. Thinking,
he types it. He does.
He types it. Yeah,
maybe that's how his laughs sound. They sound like lugs. Where it's like lug. I
think that's just what a lot of people down where he lives call a laugh. You're lugging.
Down. Isn't he from New Jersey?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you just doxed him.
Oh no!
Oh no!
The guy whose public information is public information.
Oh
shit! What are we going to do now?
Can't use Gary's name because that's his name that he goes by and has since for day one. And he calls that doxing. Whatever.
A little while back.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to get out that I'm in the box.
Hey, David. You know what? Guess what? Your name is David. I'm doxing you because your name is David.
I'd hate to drag this dead animal out, but a while back, Brett Keane was putting his phone number in his YouTube videos.
Yeah, I remember that.
And whenever like, why? Because he has no one else to talk to.
No, it was actually his Google phone number.
It was his voice over IP. Yeah, it was Google thing. But the reason he did that was because he wanted atheists to call him and leave these fucked up messages, kind of like what we're doing with the American Atheists. They've given us their so you can play the victim. Exactly. Bingo. That's exactly what it was.
What I was getting at
look
was
at me, they're persecuting me.
The drunken peasants would watch his videos, and then his number would be on the background there, and then he went and said that they revealed his phone number.
Persecution point.
It was in the back of
just in it for the attention.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
And by the way, Gage had actually suggested but Gage and G-Man suggested that I go on, or the two DP suggested to them they should have me on, and I got to tell you, I don't have a desire to go on Drunken Peasants. I'm nothing against Ben. I don't know what I would do on that show. It's just not. What's that?
Said. I'll go for you, Steve.
You be my guest if they want to have you on. I just don't know what I would do in the Drunken Peasants. I mean, Pimpmunk goes on all the time. He's like a regular. I don't know what. I'm not Pimpmunk. I don't have that same style thing that they do. It's completely different.
Wait,
I'm not familiar with the Drunken Peasants. I'm just absolutely. I live like under a rock or something.
You've never watched a DP? Oh, that phrasing on that one. Hang on, let me rephrase that. Let me totally rephrase that one.
I'm sure everybody has.
We need to wean you into atheist culture before you see DP.
Yeah, let's go back a step. Have you never watched it?
DP's not an atheist program, by the way.
Well, yeah, it's not, but we need to wean you onto internet culture before you go and you see DP.
Totally. So, I mean, oh, that's too funny.
Is the Drunken Peasant still a thing?
I've not watched.
Yeah, but
it's still a thing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Pimp wants to go into details because he obviously has inside information, so I don't want to put him on the spot. But it is obviously a fact that they kind of split them their own ways. TJ, we've talked to or Kyle's talked to TJ a little bit, and we've got a little bit of information on it probably from what they've said.
Differences.
They had creative differences. Let's leave it at that. They had creative differences, and shit happens, Shit happens.
Okay.
I'm a reoccurring host.
Yeah, not every group stays together forever. Whatever.
Oh yeah, no. I haven't watched them in a really, really long time, and I was watching them from the beginning, but
I was never a huge fan of them. I like some stuff TJ said. I like his monologues, his rants that he did.
Oh yeah.
Well, now that it's primarily Ben and Billy the Fridge, and I'm on there at least usually once a week, twice a week.
Did you watch Billy the Fridge's video that he did for John Cena?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You don't like that? I thought that was
no, it was okay. Yeah. Where did you get that? I didn't like it.
Well, you kind of you had this like, yeah, I saw it, but whatever.
Oh, I saw it. It wasn't. I wasn't like, oh, yay.
Okay.
But it was okay. It was.
Have you ever seen him naked? Just out of curiosity.
Who?
Fridge.
I've seen everybody naked.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I've heard. I've heard you had literally have seen like just about everybody naked.
Yeah. Okay. No, I've never seen him naked. Well, I've seen him without clothes, but he's so
okay.
But he's so. But here's the deal, though. He's like, I'm a fat dude, but he's like fatter than me. So you can't see his privates when he's naked. So
he's a big guy. He's a big guy.
He's an innie, huh?
Yeah. It's funny when G-Man had actually asked him or something. He's like, you're fat, and he's like, that's the whole thing. The joke with them is
I would have said
I didn't realize he was fat.
Because G-Man's not black, by the way. He's the whitest black dude I've ever seen in my life.
Is he?
He's like that stereotypical like black neighbor you got that's trying to act white. Who's that dude from the Boondocks who
Uncle Ruckus? Are you
Uncle Ruckus?
Uncle Ruckus?
I'm talking about like the upstanding guy, not the racist one.
His name is Tom Dubois or something like that.
But Tom is educated and has a very solid job and isn't delusional. So it's like, Uncle Ruckus is a bit more along the lines of the delusional type. And
it's why Uncle Ruckus is fun.
He's their gay love child. He's got Uncle Ruckus sanity.
Uncle Ruckus has like 30 jobs.
Okay, there was some sheriff that was a Trump supporter, and I swear he was like the Uncle Ruckus. What was his name? Sheriff somebody.
I know who you're talking about.
It's just like he would wear a "Make America Great Again" hat and like have a Trump shirt that looked like Trump was like having dinner with Jesus or something.
Shit, what's his name?
I think he got banned on Twitter.
He's like he's an old black dude, right? And he's like he's like
I know
he's like very
come on, live chat. You're
terrifying looking guy.
I'm gonna have to Google this.
No, the live chat. That's what they have live chat for. They save us the hassle.
I have a lot of friends on Facebook who share quotes by him and stuff because it's like, look, it's a black guy that holds our views, so he's very important to us.
Oh goodness, yeah. Is it
they
David Clark? I think. Okay, David Clark, America's second worst sheriff.
Yeah, it's always like that when you got like a polarized group and then there's like an opposite group. Whenever somebody from that group comes over to the different group, they're like, "Oh, but look at this person. They know what they're talking about. Look at this black guy. He hates black
identity politics."
He knows what he's talking about because he agrees with us.
Well, G-Man is the leading expert on cancer now, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? I need to go wash my mouth out now. That left a bad taste. Even in jest. Not even that anymore.
That's really fun when people like to explain to me cancer, and I have a publication coming out soon. So I'm just like,
yeah, what do you know? What you don't know?
I know nothing, man. I'm just lucky. I'm lucky to be invited to things at this point.
Yeah, I mean, me and Dave were. I think Dave was there when I had somebody explain to tell a cancer patient to stop taking treatment and to try apricot seeds. Was that lemon?
It was lemon. He was telling Muppets directly, like, "Hey, you should stop your cancer treatments and just eat apricot seeds.
Stop chemo, man."
Yeah, you could just stop eating altogether and kill your cancer that way, but you might die too. But hey, so that's a side effect of that treatment.
Raisin girls in the live chat. Oh my god!
I've heard lack of breathing leads to death too. So a whole lot of
bleach kills cancer, and so does gunshots.
Yeah, a bullet to the head will get rid of your cancer problem.
Real quick, Pimp, you want to say hi to Raisin because we love her?
What's up, whore?
There you go.
They just went nuts over Raisin Girl. Goodness.
Raisin Girl's awesome.
Ingesting cyanide kills cancer.
Yes, it does.
So does pissing into a can of bleach.
Explosives kill cancer.
Yeah, this is the fact. Jumping out of an aircraft without a parachute kills cancer.
That does. It does.
But this is a fact. This is a scientific fact. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Scientist.
Okay.
You do not need a parachute to skydive. You only need a parachute to skydive more than once.
That's true. That's absolutely true. You can skydive without a parachute.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People don't believe me on that.
Ground landing.
Yeah, you can skydive without
parachute. You'll nail that first landing great, man. You might even have a little body imprint on the ground if it's enough force.
They say that you'll fall through the earth and come out of China and then float out into space.
Yeah, 42 minutes later. Yeah.
Wow.
That's true. Under I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong again. But under free fall conditions, if you were to jump in like a hole, you would come out the other side 42 minutes later, and that it makes no difference where the hole is. So if you had like this, the Earth is round, people. By the way, but if you have the Earth and you make like a cord that goes this way, it still takes 42 minutes because the gravity is, you're at an angle, right? So instead of going straight down orthogonal, you go on an angle. So you take the cosine of blah, 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 and you will fall at the same rate. So even if you're going,
talking trig now, go ahead.
Yeah. So it takes 43 minutes to fall through the Earth, no matter where you are.
Would that
42 minutes? Happen, 42 minutes. Okay, 42 minutes.
If there was a tube that went straight through the center of the Earth somehow, and it didn't leak lava out everywhere and whatnot, would you actually fall the whole way through, or would you like just pop into the middle?
What happened would be this: you would fall all the way through, and whatever height you started with, you would come out about the same, right? So if I just kind of like jumped in, you'd kind of pop out, and then you would go back, and then you would kind of just go back and forth, and finally you'd end up just in the center.
Why isn't NASA making a skydiving hole through the center of the Earth? Because that sounds like I would do that. I would do that. I do not want to jump out of an airplane and hit the ground, but I would totally fall through a hole.
Yeah, you wouldn't survive. You wouldn't survive. That would be the problem.
I mean, I heard a story of a dude who survived jumping out of a helicopter.
If they wanted to make it so that you could survive, that would probably be more money in the entire world would go into that project.
Well, you're talking about temperature. If you even take into conconsideration the fact that we really don't want to change the core that much, because that would affect.
You couldn't even get to the. You couldn't even make it. Then you couldn't even get through the core. It'd be so many problems and pressure. The pressure would kill you. And it wouldn't be a pleasant journey.
From the core to build the space elevator.
There's actually there was a book that I read that had something like that was made into a movie, and I can't remember what it was, but basically that's what it was. It was an elevator that went through the earth, and on one side was like all fucked up conditions, and then it would come back. And what was that?
I don't know.
See what happens when you read a lot and you don't remember the shit.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I went and saw Ready Player One yesterday. I loved it. It's fantastic.
I heard it was good.
Yeah, I loved it a lot. So
that's what Pimp should do. He should do movie reviews.
They made a movie out of that?
Yes. It's
yeah.
I don't get to read for fun so much. So it was really nice to see a film, which was kind of cool with all the nostalgia. So last night I streamed impromptu streaming. I pulled out my Atari. I still have the manual right here for all you nerds.
Wow. You know what I watched? I watched Thor Ragnarok, and I gotta admit,
Ragnarok.
It was pretty good.
Fucking,
it was funny. It wasn't what I was expecting, right? I'd heard it was kind of went for a more comedic thing, but it was all out comedy. It was tailored to be not an action, but more of a comedy or action comedy. But yeah, it was funny. It was good.
It's the most Jeff Goldblum films of Jeff Goldblums that he could ever be Jeff Goldblum in.
You got to sum up that entire movie in a few sentences.
That part was written for him. It had to be.
So Asgard.
Jeff Goldblum.
It's my birthday.
So Pimp, besides porn, what's your favorite kind of genre?
Do what now?
What's your favorite kind of movie genre?
Oh, legal dramas or mob movies. I love gangster movies.
Love gangster movies.
I never would have guessed.
You ever like the Usual Suspects or those kind of movies?
That was a great one. Goodfellas.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, any movie like that. Okay. Godfather, of course, and Goodfellas, Casino. I mean, also I like legal. I like all kinds of movies. I'm really an indie guy, though. I don't really watch big budget films.
Indies are awesome. But let me ask you this: Godfather 1 or 2? Which one's better? That's like.
Well, there is not a 1 or 2 in my opinion. 1 and 2 is a continuing story.
You know what? That's a good argument. That's the same movie. It's just
just long. Yeah. I would say I like all movies and stuff of all the genres, but I tend to lean towards psychological thrillers.
Okay.
Like the big instinct kind of stuff, or like the game, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, things like Shutter Island, things like that. Where you don't necessarily know what's actually going on. Yeah,
I like those two.
I kind of don't like predictable. If there's lots of predictable movies I like, but I think I enjoy having the plot twist at the end where you go, "Ah, shit, didn't see that coming."
Not like an M. Night.
That doesn't ever happen to me anymore. No, not like Inception was horrible.
I'm not a huge fan.
No.
You
know what? Okay,
he's got a few movies.
Movie recommendation time. Let's do that real quick. Mel, here's my movie recommendation to you. That's kind of like what Pimp was talking about. Have you seen the movie Coherence yet?
Coherence? No.
There you go. It's indie. It's has an unexpected, weird, twisty kind of stuff. You have no idea what the fuck is going on in the entire movie, and it has to do with quantum. So it's just going to be up your alley a little bit.
Oh, I love.
No quantum. Spoilers in the live chat.
I do love quantum stuff. That's fun, but. Yeah, I don't know. The last movie that I saw that utterly disturbed me and I will never watch again is The Audition, the Japanese film. I was turned on to that by Rob Zombie, who was doing the 100 most something other scary films of all time. And The Audition, he had said that film, he's like, that film disturbed me. I'm like, I have to see this film that Rob Zombie says disturbed. Yes, it was, Steve, and I will never watch it.
Okay, I don't without spoiling, because I may watch it, but without spoiling it. In which way was disturbing? Like for me, like The Ring was disturbing to me. That movie freaked me the fuck out.
Oh, dude, I love Vacancy. Have you seen that one?
Which one?
Vacancy. It's like a
Vacancy. Yes.
Yeah,
That's like a classic return to American horror films. Yeah. You know, it's a bit like that. That was of mine. But
what creeped you out about The Audition?
The Audition. Okay, the whole premise is this guy. It's a Japanese horror film. He sets up a fake audition for a film to try to find a potential wife. And so he goes through and he finds somebody, and he starts, you know, he goes through all of this thing like, well, this is what the film's about and all this. So he's trying to find a girl that he feels like he can, you know, get on along with. So essentially the whole film is like Fatal Attraction, except Japanese horror style times 1,000. This girl is like so sweet and innocent, but it's such an incredibly dark and sadistic film to where oh my God, there's piano wire involved in parts. And
yeah, I don't know if I'm into that kind of stuff. I'm not
it's like, there's one point where you're like, there's like this scene and there's this bag that's on the floor in her kitchen. You're like, oh my God, what's in the bag? And you see it move and you're like, what's in the bag? It's like Seven, except way worse. So you're like, oh my God. Oh, it's just, yeah. I was like, I understand why Rob Zombie found this film disturbing, because I watched it once and I'm like, yeah, I don't need
yeah, I don't think I'd be like, I don't know. I don't think I like those kind of movies. I'm not into the those kind of
there's a lot of there's a lot of really dark stuff in there. And I thought, well, you know, I've seen that. I've seen The Devil in Hell now. I'm kind of done with that.
You referenced Seven, and Seven is an amazing movie.
Seven is a really good movie. I'll tell you
scarred.
What's in the box?
Fuck the box. Fuck the box. Fuck you people.
I'll tell you one that's interesting, just because I'm trying to think of stuff that not everybody would maybe have seen. Tideland. It's a Terry Gilliam movie.
I love Terry Gilliam.
It's really dark. It's about this little girl, and she takes off into the prairies somewhere in this old ramshackled house with her father, and he overdoses on heroin and dies. Yeah, and it's about her sort of just escaping into her imagination. She's maybe like 8 years old or something, trying to cope with it. And it's like, it's not so much dark in like a horror way, but it's dark in it's really uncomfortable.
Like Bridges and Jennifer Tilly.
It's actually a brilliant film, though.
Yeah. Like a lot of people either really love it or really hate it because it's so uncomfortable.
You want to see something fucked up? Watch a Serbian film.
So I don't know about that. Have any of you guys seen Red State by Kevin Smith?
Yes, absolutely. It's brilliant.
Gosh, I saw that when he took it on tour after he had taken it to Sundance, and it went on the on the block for auction. And he said, you know what? No, he took it off the block. There were studios that were going to buy it from him. That was the first time I met him on that particular tour. And so we went to New Orleans and watched Red State. He had Stephen Root there, Melissa Leo, he had Ralph Garman, he had the whole cast there. And so that film, he said the whole time when he was trying to make that film was to make it as uncomfortable as possible as you progress throughout the film. It just gets worse and worse. But to me, I love Dogma. To me, Dogma was like the perfect film.
Love
Red State. Red State.
He nearly died recently. He had a heart attack, a massive heart attack.
I know.
Dogma was a horrible piece of shit, but okay.
You suck.
But anyways,
there have been movies that were so good. I mean, people have said they're brilliant, and yet people were walking out of the theater being so disturbed. And of course, the people that made the movie is like, that's what we want. That's
Dogma.
No, not Dogma. No, not Dogma. Okay. I mean, other movies that are
Red State was
the only complaint about Dogma is people had is they think
awesome.
It was a bad cast, and I disagree. I think it was perfect for the part.
I love Red State. That is the most non-Kevin Smith film that you could ever see, and to me, it was utter brilliance.
Do you think
the other one that he did too with the walrus thing?
The walrus, yes. I still don't know how I feel about that film. I'm like, I should not be laughing at this, but it's hilarious and wrong at the same time.
It's dark, but it's so hokey at the same time. It's like the old horror movies, where you can kind of see the zipper, but it's still fucked up anyway.
But that's the point I was trying to make with comedy earlier. Art is supposed to be uncomfortable at times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tusk is the name of the film.
Tusk is the name. But art is definitely supposed to be uncomfortable at times. If you're always comfortable with it, then it's not art.
Yeah, they want to move you out of your safe space.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can't learn if we stay in the same spot, We have to move outside of our comfort zones in order to learn, I think. So
well, but I mean
I
I prefer the psychological thrillers rather than the gore type, right? I don't like the blood and gore.
That's why I like Debunking.
I like psychological torture. I'm a mental masochist myself, so
that's why I like Debunking.
Well, since you haven't seen it, check out Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah.
See, but people loved Inception, and I hated that. I hated Inception. Halfway through it.
It's not
I figured it out halfway through, and then the rest of it is
was he dreaming still, or was he not? What's your take?
Well, I wrote a blog post on that a while back, and I got so much flack. How could you say Inception was bad? I'm like, I figured it out halfway through. I'm like, I felt like that. I felt he was dreaming the entire time.
You asked me the same question. I'll give you the best answer.
Yeah, so it's like I felt he was dreaming the entire time, and if you go and look at the actual shooting script, that was what they were going for anyway. So.
No, because I disagree. I think by reading some of the parts that I kind of got the whole gist of it. So what do you ask me?
Okay, all right. What was he dreaming the whole time?
No, the question is, at the end, was he
dreaming? Well, if it was
the best answer to that is it doesn't matter.
Yeah, really
seriously. No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that facetiously. Yeah. The people that wrote that, I think that's what their intent was not to tell you one way or another. It doesn't matter whether you're dreaming or not.
It was just arduous to get through the
what you walk away with.
What you walk away with, exactly. You make your own reality, and it doesn't matter whether he was dreaming or not. Either way, it was his reality.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm sitting here, I'm just like. I just thought it was dumb.
Have any of you seen Identity?
Darty?
Identity.
Oh, Identity now.
We should start talking about bad movies. I just say.
No, it's not really a bad movie. Emoji movie. Interesting. It's basically about somebody who, well, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, it's very hard to talk about a movie without spoilers, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
I liked Jumper. I thought Jumper was awesome.
Thriller. It's a psychological thriller, but there's a bit of a twist, and it's got a lot of good actors. It's got like John Cusack and a whole bunch of people.
Horror movies are notoriously low budget, but if you spend all the money on the talent, you're good.
Yeah,
or the writing. If you spend all the money on the writing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's all about the writing.
The writers make
John Cusack and Ray Liotta.
Yeah, but Identity was a good movie. I don't know why you said that was a bad movie.
No, I didn't say it was bad. I said we should talk about bad movies.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was a bad movie. I was like, I thought it was pretty good for what it was.
Yeah, but aren't there some movies that are so bad they're actually good?
You mean like
the Twilight series is the best comedies I've ever seen. The Twilight series is hilarious from beginning to end for me. It's a giant comedy. So it's like
the original, like Twilight the movie, Twilight the Vampire thing. Okay,
Twilight the Vampire thing. So I saw that in the theater with a friend who read the book. I never read the book.
Sorry,
I sat there and I laughed from beginning to end.
Twilight is so bad that it's actually bad.
Can I comment on something someone said in the chat room?
Blair Witch.
That's bullshit. Blair Witch was not a bad movie.
Yeah, well,
that was a good movie.
I think it was bad.
Wow, can't agree on that. See,
it did good in the fact that they didn't have much camera budget, so they just gave somebody
no budget.
I didn't see it, so I'm agnostic on it.
My problem with Blair Witch is that it just started that whole found footage trend.
And you can't say it properly because it's not Blair Witch, it's Blair Witch.
What was after that? The thing about the house that had the demons in it and the guy, the boyfriend. What was it? Paranormal Activity.
Oh, that
which I would call.
They made like 6 of those or some
The
shit.
name of that title. The title should have been "Worst Boyfriend Ever."
I've seen one. I've seen one of the Paranormal Activities, maybe 2.
Of course, you get harassed every night.
Here's why Blair Witch was brilliant in my opinion, and it's because the marketing of that fucking thing was amazing.
I've seen.
So was Hitler's propaganda.
Yeah, I've seen.
What was bad about Hitler?
Well,
go ahead, Stone. It was marketing. Stone, go ahead.
The weird thing, I've always heard people talking about how Paranormal Activity is the scariest movie ever made. Oh my god, it's. I saw the first 3, and I didn't jump once.
Exorcist was the scariest movie ever made. Fuck you all. Exorcist. I was trauma.
Exorcist is nothing.
Psycho was
Psycho. That messed me up, and it still messes me up when I go to a freaking motel on the side of the road. Like, is some creepy dude gonna come in and kill me?
I don't know if you know this, but no movie's ever fucked me up.
Like, yeah, no. I'm the same way.
Jaws.
Well, the
Dave knows well what I look at on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, Jaws didn't bother me.
Have you guys?
Psycho was so great.
Dave knows.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Wait, Sater. Here's the problem. Anybody who's been to the deep web, no movie's gonna fuck you up. And I've never gone to the deep web.
I've never gone to the deep web.
I don't need to go to the deep web to find gore, Steve.
Deep web or the dark web?
I'm sorry, the dark web.
Dark web.
We call it the arc web.
Horror movies don't bother me.
We call it the arc web where I go.
How does everybody feel about Black Mirror?
Oh, I love it. Oh my god. Black Mirror. Awesome. Fucking awesome.
If we could step outside of horror for a moment.
Just brilliant.
What a six Sater. What, David? Sater. Hang on. What, Dave?
I was just saying every episode so far pretty much has been brilliant.
I've watched them all. They're fucking amazing. One of the best series of all time. I was thoroughly impressed by the writing, the execution, the fact that it just makes you think like, holy fuck, we are fucked as a society, because everything in it was like a mirror on our own selves.
There's a series on Netflix based on the Philip Dick
plausible,
series,
right?
so, yeah.
You guys keep fucking at each other. No, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying is there's another series on Netflix as well that's like based on the Philip J. Dick books, you know, the guy who wrote Blade Runner and all that. I can't remember the name of the series, but it's similar to Black Mirror, but it's like, you know, Blade Runner was based on the book Do Androids Dream in Electric Sheep, that thing.
You talking about humans?
I can't remember the name of the series on Netflix, but there's a series on Netflix that's based on those books that the guy who wrote Blade Runner did. I can't remember.
I watch a lot of Netflix series.
But yeah, it's similar to Black Mirror. That's why I was saying that. Carry on.
Luna hasn't seen Black Mirror yet. She's like, everybody has a boner for it because it's that good.
I'm gonna hop on out.
Orphan Black's good too. All right, Stone.
Bye, Stone.
See you, Stone.
I'll come
your
back.
hat on your way out.
Yeah, pop around more often, man. We have hangouts 3 or 4 times a week, and we have a bunch of new other shows, and Pimpmunk's got shows, and we're all like doing shit. So
Electric Dreams, that's the name of the show. Electric Dreams.
If you guys are back on next weekend, I'll be on then. So I'll message you.
Just look for notifications.
Yep. So it was good talking to you guys.
Yeah, good seeing you again, buddy.
Bye, Stone.
If we could step outside of horror movies for a moment, what did everybody think of the new Jumanji movie?
I liked it.
I thought it was fun.
I like the new step they took.
I'm a big fan of oh god, I forgot her name. Amy Potts, the actress plays Amy Potts in Doctor Who.
Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan. I love her. Oh my god, is she amazing? Gorgeous and smart. And
I'll tell you, it spawned the absolute worst ever game made. Period.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Jumanji VR experience.
Oh God, no.
You would have thought that Sony hired a couple of students to throw it together over a weekend.
I got you beat.
On Steam, it was so bad they deleted it from Steam. No. Worse.
I got you beat, man. There's a landfill with this in it.
How much is that? Wait. How much is that game worth?
I have no idea. I have 2 copies of Indiana Jones too.
I thought they were all buried in landfill.
That's what I thought so too, but I have them. I have one right here, and it sucks. This game sucks so bad.
People may not know this, but E.T., that video game she had in her hand, it was, and this is not an exaggeration, this is a fact. It was so bad that Atari actually took all the existing copies they had and buried them, literally buried them with a bulldozer. Amy Pond, I'm sorry, Amy Pond, yeah, not Amy Pond.
I can't blame them either. I have played it, believe it or not, and
it's terrible.
I'm a terrible
kill myself.
Amy Pond. Yeah.
As soon as ET gets rescued, after you collect all the pieces for the frickin' communication to spoilers, really.
I mean, I've played all the way through it because I'm a mental masochist.
And then the ship he connects with, he phones home. The ship comes, a little 8-bit ship that looks like some weird rectangle comes along and just like picks him up. And you're like, yay, ET made it. Guess what? They bring him back and drop him off. And you're like, I just sent you home like 3 seconds ago. What is wrong with you? It's the worst game ever.
I guess I had heard they just
on the Super Nintendo when you first beat it, and it's like, this was a clever trick devised by Satan. Start again. Then you beat it, and it says, congratulations, this is happy end. With that specific grammar. That's the reward for beating that hard-ass game twice through, because the first time doesn't count.
There was, so for us old people, there was no beating games. It just got exponentially harder. Like Frogger, there was no final level. It was like the street is full of cars. Good luck trying to get through. And so it's like that or Pitfall, where there's never ending.
All right, what's this one from? See if you guys can remember this one. All your bases belong to us. All your bases belong to us.
No, it was Star Ocean, wasn't it?
Nope, Zero Wing.
Oh, that was it.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
And, what was the game? It was it's supposed to be like a brief zombie apocalypse sort of survival game. It's like you go room to room and you pick up weapons. It's free on Steam.
Oh, I think I've played that before.
Dallas.
No, but it's probably worse than that. It's a terrible game. The graphics are bad. The zombies suck. The weapons are terrible. It took me 5 minutes to figure out how to change weapons because the control setting is so weird.
Oh, I hate that shit. I'm still trying to make it through Witcher 3.
I mean, I have a list of games, and I remember that on Skyrim, fighting a troll, and it's just them screaming. And then there's Dark Souls, and without description of whatever they're doing, it's just them screaming in general. I love Dark Souls, by the way.
That's on Steam? I don't think I've played that one.
You haven't played? There's a whole lot of Dark Souls games.
There's 3.
I haven't played any Far Cry either. Should I start playing Far Cry?
You should start playing Dark Souls. You should get Bloodborne and Demon Souls.
It's really hard.
What's the fight factor of Demon Souls? Because, like I said, I'm really into Witcher 3, but I can't get anywhere, and I haven't played.
So let me tell you what, Steve. You get Dark Souls 1 and you stream it, and I'm telling you that one of the bosses in that game is locally or worldwide known as one of the hardest bosses in video game history.
See, I rage quit, and then I have to come back to it later after I've calmed down. That's what I did with BioShock Infinite on the last level. I'm just like, I'm just so done. I'm just like, meh.
I don't know. I think it was Ornstein and Smog that was the hardest boss in that game.
I like BioShock, sirs. I really like BioShock.
I loved BioShock Infinite. It was fantastic.
Is that the sword dancing one that you're talking about, Shaggy?
Okay, so Ornstein and Smog.
No inappropriate gestures. Pimp.
Here's Boba Fett and Captain America. Your argument is invalid. So, and they're riding on an Enterprise.
Bondage bears better.
Pimp is bored. He wants to talk about.
Bondage bears are better.
Bondage bears. Where would you even go to get one of those? I wouldn't even know where to begin. If somebody said, Steve, go get a bondage bear, I'd be like,
Amazon.com.
Amazon and everything.
But yeah, Ornstein and Smog.
The hardest boss. The hardest boss is your mom. No, the hardest boss is your dad. He'd be the hard one.
Everybody say hello to my little Negro.
Why is he Jewish?
Oh my God.
Steve.
His
yes,
name, wait a minute.
Together and do a live stream D&D.
Shout out, long hair boy.
Yes, Pimp.
His
The
name
geek is strong in me was.
Now, shut up, hair girl.
All right,
You
woman.
didn't tell me so. Would you like me to make you a sandwich?
Yes, I
Yes,
would.
please. I'm hungry.
I
All
like
right, let's
tomato,
speak. Come on, Pimp. Go, Pimp. Go.
tomato, bologna. Well, I'm putting in my fucking order.
Oh.
Anyways, his name is K3, Kenneth Keyshawn Kennedy. You know, KKK. That's his name. He's a black guy. So, and he likes white girls who are smart. So, what's up?
I'm sorry, you can't afford me.
Black guys don't afford anything. What are you talking about?
I meant your puppet. I meant your puppet.
And sell them to white men.
Just remember that the views expressed in this channel from the panel are not reflected by the channel host. Okay?
This is not necessarily reflecting me either.
I take no responsibility for Pimp. He knows that. None. Zero.
That's
you
okay.
didn't. I take responsibility for my goddamn self.
Damn right, bitch.
That's good.
It's called humor.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what?
As
I don't think I even bothered to even monetize this video. I knew Pimp coming on. I was like, fuck it.
See, I've been good. I have been really good.
We have been up to now.
But you have nerded me the fuck out for 2
I know.
goddamn long.
You know what? Here's the thing. No. Here's the psychological warfare we just did on you, Pimp. You like to make people uncomfortable. We just sat there and made you motherfuckers.
No, that's not. But see, I know all this shit, but I don't like it.
Yeah. He wants to talk about bondage bear.
See, I know about games. You guys don't know about fucking.
How would you know? I've never had sex with you that I'm aware of.
We need to remedy
Out
that.
there, Pimp
No,
Monk,
we
if you want to
don't.
challenge me
We're
in a
going to
wrestle,
remedy that. We're
No,
going
we
to
won't.
remedy that. Yes. I'm
That
going
would
to
happen.
rape your wrinkly up old ass.
No, not gonna happen.
Yeah,
Many
I
guys
wonder, does Pimp have a test to determine whether or not somebody is skilled
Sexually
in the art of love?
No, I don't. Actually,
Physical love.
if you
I don't
can
know what
make
his
me-
I don't know what his
If
methodology
you can
is.
make me come, then you're okay.
Is that really
okay.
a challenge?
Yes, does it count?
you got to get through the fat.
No, is it a challenge? That's the thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how challenging is that, Pimp?
No challenge is what?
It's about a Blumpkin challenge.
To get you off? Is that really like?
It actually is because I'm a limp dick fucker. I can't help it.
Is it on the pot?
Well, now that we know you have the bondage bears,
What do you mean? Why are you assuming?
Well-
Why are you assuming that I smoke pot?
But you know what's funny is
giant flag
I've seen
behind
you on the
you.
DP. I've seen you on the DP.
Hey, wait a minute. I know more about his testicles than you guys do. He has a secret about
Yeah,
his
he has
testicles.
3.
It's
I
not a
don't see
that
that
secret.
video.
It's
I
not
saw
a
the video.
That's
secret.
information, Steve.
I didn't give it out. That was Sater. Don't
That
blame
was
me.
the drunken peasants that gave that out. It's public information.
No, it wasn't the drunken peasants. It was Pimpmunk who gave that
Yeah,
out.
Pimp gave it out.
Technically, yeah,
Pimp
but I saw it on the drunken peasants. Give me a break.
and we know everything on the drunken peasants is true, right?
It's public information.
Is there a YouTube video, the current state of Pimpmunk's testicles?
Yes.
So there's one.
If not,
Well,
they're
actually,
There's
I'm proud of
like a public address.
I'm proud of my third ball because it is a very rare. I'm one of 200 recorded cases. It's a very rare thing, and I'm also even more rare because it's a working testicle. So,
Is it so warm?
Do what?
Is this so warm?
Do you want to feel it?
I mean, if you put it in my hand, I'm not going to drop it.
Then yes.
would they
Drop
charge
it.
you a third more for a vasectomy?
Is it detachable? Because if you drop it, then it would break.
he was willing to
Yeah.
donate to somebody. That's, you know what?
Oh, I would donate it for $5 million. Now I wouldn't even save someone's life if they had
Say
testicular
it's Hitler's
cancer.
missing testicle.
Because that's my nut. That's my third
Wait a minute,
ball.
why would you have to replace if you had testicular cancer? Why would you need a new one? You just I don't think that.
No,
I think that-
I'm saying to
that's
someone
the-
else. I'm saying to donate my nut to somebody.
Oh, if they like had one removed,
Yeah, I
cancer,
would- they
wanted
would-
one
they
back.
would-
Okay,
They would die.
Okay.
they
Oh,
were.
Negro.
Well, they're not going to die if they don't get a testicular replacement. It doesn't work
No,
that way.
no.
Yeah, trust me. I have a friend who's only got one testicle because he lost one in a car accident. Don't
Yeah,
ask me how that happened.
I have a friend who had cancer, and he had to lose his.
I call him the one not wonder.
And you got spares and you
Huh?
haven't donated already?
Yeah.
By the way, I call my friend Testiclops, actually.
Testiclops.
Testiclops, yeah.
Well,
There's
this
a
is
lot
what
of talk about junk on this particular episode.
Well, I was going to say, this is what if you want to listen to Pimpmunk, this is what you need to expect every single time. But if you want to go to watch Morning, his show is Mel. His show is called Morning Wood. So
there's actually a subdivision not far from here called Morning Wood. I should take a picture and send it to.
There you go.
Well, is it like a urinary place?
No, it's a high-end, wealthy, to-do type of individual subdivision where people live. It's called Morning Wood.
Oh, so they're just clueless then. Okay.
Yeah. Unlike you, Shaggy, who mourns his wood, but
Hey, man. At least I don't have like flaccid dick all the time.
Pimpmunk likes to wake up in Morning Wood.
I'm hard right now, actually.
No, it's a morning show. It's a clever little name.
I might have to wash the dirt off of me after this, man.
Don't we all? Mel, anytime you talk to Pimp, you're gonna have to take a shower after.
Well, you'd be shocked that we actually have some
like the dirt.
Pretty intelligent topics at times. Like the other day, we went to deep discussion of bestiality, and we're gonna have a serious debate on my channel.
Here's the thing with bestiality. How do you know the animals can consent to sex?
Well, I don't care if they consent.
Yeah, why does he care? If he's into bestiality rape.
Hey, as an animal, I would like to know we're always consenting.
But if animals can't consent to sex, it's rape.
Wait. Well, you're a vegan? I'm assuming, right?
I am not a vegan. I had actually chicken and.
Did that chicken consent to being murdered?
Well, that is being murdered. Yeah, it didn't consent to that. So, but the thing is,
I'd like to let you know, Mel, that as like an animal myself, I'm a satyr. I'm half animal. As an animal, we're always consenting.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a fat ass. I love my burgers. So, I
love my burgers.
I do not support bestiality, but it is an argument when people are like, "How dare you? An animal can't consent." Well, they didn't consent to being fucking chopped up and put on your plate either.
This is true. You have a point there. I can't refute that point.
I mean, I have an issue with the argument considering all the goat fucking over there.
Yes,
but
wisdom.
I'm not,
wait, hang on. Wisdom vendor one, who, by the way, I like Wisdom. He's somebody been new to the community and he's been on the Discord. He's got to come in and hang out with us. But he said bestiality equals intelligent conversation. Yeah, that's about it.
That was the fucking joke, dumbass.
That's the joke, man.
God,
you have to explain a joke to people.
Oh goodness!
But
I believe in ethical slaughter, though. I do believe in ethical slaughter. I try to buy ethical slaughter stuff. So I think
believe in ethically slaughtering people.
I'm a vegetarian that eats.
That's several states of capital punishment do involve slaughter, where they allow
if our system wasn't so fucked, I'll be honest with you. I will have a little serious conversation. If our system wasn't so flawed, I would support capital punishment. But our system is so flawed, then I cannot and cannot support it. But if it wasn't so flawed, I would support it.
See, interesting state, Texas. Texas has sent to death people that would be considered mentally retarded. So it's
we should get rid of them anyway. We should get rid of them anyway. What the fuck are they?
Well, I mean, people that didn't know that what they were doing was wrong, as it inherently,
that's right. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Why
and they probably don't understand they're about to get fried either. Then,
yeah, I say people say, "Oh, you're gonna."
Oh, you want me to sit here? Okay.
I say people say you're going to offend retarded people. No, you're not going to offend them. They don't know what the fuck you're saying. They don't know what you're saying. You give them a lunchbox and a fucking cartoon, they're happy. They don't give a fuck what you're saying.
I think
but isn't there something to be said about whether or not if you should be like killed for a crime that you committed, you should at least
I fucking hate Texas.
Understand the fact that what you did was wrong. If they're incapable
I don't know. I think there's an argument to be had about that. I mean, look. Hang on. Even if you understand the culpability that you have for committing the crime, if you are a threat to society to the point where, even if you have a mental state where you don't understand that what you're doing is wrong and you're out killing people, I'm okay with getting rid of them.
Well, here's the other side of that.
There is no other side. No.
Yeah, there is another side.
Okay. Go ahead.
There's always another side. So the other side is, if we kill them all, how can we study them for long term to understand how they come to be?
Oh, so wait. So you want to keep them around for experimentation, scientific? I don't.
But no, not necessarily experimentation and like making them uncomfortable, but at the same time, try to understand why they think the way they do, why they feel the way they do. Is it genetic? Is it, what are the aspects that contribute to this type of behavior? I think that's
purposes. I don't know. I mean, again, it depends on each situation is different. But if somebody, if all they're going to do is kill somebody,
exactly. Each situation is different, so we can't have like a blanket policy for every single one.
Well, the blanket policy is that if given the right conditions, you get fried.
Texas has never had Texas has never had a repealed sentence for any capital punishment. They've never repealed.
No. Our system is too flawed for capital punishment.
The system is flawed. No, I think there's an argument.
I agree with Pimpmunk on that. It is flawed in that regard.
I think he's right. I think there's.
I
think there needs an all around.
Because there's people that's getting released every day now because of DNA.
Yeah.
That was convicted many years ago. So you can expect there's people being killed that didn't do it.
But there's already been people who have been exonerated after being killed. So,
but what about one of these people that have been like a known shooter, like these school people that it is them. There's no question it was them. That's not even under scrutiny, right? I think we all agree it's a person, and even if they're determined to be mentally incompetent,
is
that somebody that's up for the death penalty?
I get your point, but here's the thing: as a society that wants to be civil, then we have to treat all criminals the same.
But no, that's a different argument, though. I think now you went from one argument as that we have a flawed system to
not what I'm saying though is
if we change the definition of criminal, then
but what I'm saying though, maybe I misworded what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that if our system is flawed enough to where we shouldn't have the capital punishment because it is fucked up, then maybe it's fucked up even for the people that we know did it.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, it's ubiquitous. If the system's fucked up, it's fucked up for everybody.
Exactly.
Right? You can't say it's fucked up for this group.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's just fucked. Sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just going to point out we got people getting shot for having a cell phone in a backyard and having a shower head.
But
and then we got people
that
are like school shooters.
But that's not the judicial
are called troubled teens.
That's bad training for cops.
No, that's a different thing.
It is bad. It is bad training for cops. But the thing is, they get away with a lot of stuff that normal civilians would not be able to get away with. It is screwed up. Yeah. So the whole system is screwed. That's what I'm saying.
Did you guys watch that poor kid that got shot 5 fucking times by the cop because the cop was scaring the shit out of him in the hotel? And told him to, he told him to do this, and he's crawling, and the guy, his pants were falling down. He's probably went to go pull up his pants, and the cop shot him. And that cop got off. I swear to motherfucking God, that cop committed fucking murder. Straight up fucking killed that kid. There is no way any rational person can look at that video and say that was not fucking murder.
They get away with a lot
of raging.
It was pretty shitty.
And I raged about
the system. Yeah, it was really shitty.
The system is messed up. We do need better training for our police officers.
Texas.
Oh, you seen he got caught with his pants down?
Yeah.
He got killed with his pants down. No, I mean, look at I'm not trying to say that all cops are bad. I mean, I'm very pro police, and I think that the vast majority of them, vast majority, do a wonderful job. But that handful that are absolutely incompetent like that. By the way, he did get fired, and he didn't feel guilty, but he lost his job, from what I understand. Yeah. But that's the kind of shit that we need to work on. They need to have better training.
They do. I agree with that. They need better training.
Because you don't find a lot of that in the military. It does happen, but nowhere near as much as it does police. The military has weapons, and you don't see that happening every fucking day anymore.
See, that's why I'm against arming teachers. Having been a teacher, I know I would like. Having been a teacher for for several years, there are people that were in the school that I taught. I'm like, I do not want them to have a gun ever.
Teachers should not be armed. That's a horrible idea.
If you ask me, a good idea is to start putting like metal detectors and guards next to those on every door to the school.
Yeah, that's not
going to work.
It would be expensive as fuck, but
no, it doesn't work. Metal detectors, sorry, it doesn't work.
There's like an entire district that's decided to put a bucket of river rocks in every single classroom for were shooters. And I thought it was an Onion article. It's a legit thing.
I thought it was a two, but when I read it, I was like, "There's something to be said about this." But the problem is, have we reached a society where that actually makes like a good? I mean, how bad does it have to be where you arming students and teachers with rocks, and it sounds like a good idea? I don't know where to go with that.
I think we need to put a gun in every student's hand. Is what I think.
That might be what
everybody
there you go. Third grade, have an assault rifle by the age of 3. That's the goal.
Yeah,
having
like
been a teacher, a big old bucket of rocks in a classroom is the worst thing ever for classroom management.
Yeah, there should be a bucket.
I don't know where to go with that. It sounds so good in theory, though, right? It sounds good in theory, because it's like, okay, they're rocks, but
I think somebody said Glocks and they thought rocks.
Maybe.
River rocks. There's a bucket of river rocks.
But now, back in the 1800s, hang on. Back in the 1800s, they had weapons. I mean, they had, shotguns and things like that. You didn't see
well-regulated militia.
Yeah, you did, but you didn't see little schoolhouse buildings having rocks, having to worry about some kind of company going in and shooting them up. So I don't think it has to do with
the British are coming. Let's hit them with rocks.
But I think it has to do with the change of society, the way the society is, not so much the weapons, because the weapons have been around for a long time, and that has never happened back in the day. So
you know what has changed? Fake guns and everything.
Hang on.
And it still doesn't happen in most places too, right?
Sure, but what has changed in society? Because the conditions haven't changed as far as the weapons. Weapons have always been around. We've always had psycho people. Nothing has changed parametrically as far as the parameters.
People have though.
Yeah, well, what conditions have changed? What is it that has made them worse?
They have assault rifles that can kill people more rapidly.
But that doesn't matter. You had weapons back then. That makes no difference. It
does kind of make a difference, because if you have a person that's lost their mind, that's going to grab an assault rifle that they have access to that can kill more people in one particular setting.
I mean, they've had handguns. You would still go in and kill people with handguns. Why?
Yeah, but you can't kill like 30.
Oh, okay. So the change has been. God damn it! So the change has been that in society now we can kill more people at a time, so that's why people are doing more shootings. Is that their reasoning? Oh, possibly, I wouldn't do this. So they're saying this. I'm not going to do this.
That's not the case. It's easier to kill a whole lot of people at once and then shoot yourself at the end. That puts you into the history books, does it not? And then people talk about it for a long time.
The fact that they kind of go down in infamy, right? I mean, they get media coverage wall to wall. They're remembered for whatever the heck they did.
Why not use like explosives? You can make a bomb.
You're looking at a bunch of freaking narcissists that want to put their name in history. So what do they do? Well, we don't have a lot of freaking. Okay, I live in a town where you can't buy Sudafed in huge amounts because you might make a lot of meth.
Oh well, same here.
You got that
one package per person, maybe 2. I think.
Farmers, but yet you can go buy an AR-15 that can kill a lot of people at once. That's not a big deal,
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
What is our priorities here?
Yeah, access to guns are way too easy. I don't think most people are arguing to take away guns. I think the access to the guns. The access to the guns is what
I think you're right, Pimp. And by the way, I'm sorry if you need an AR-15 to go hunting. You suck at hunting.
Yeah, but by the way, it's like you think the guns being better is what helps people kill them. Let me tell you a story about a man named Randy Stair. He had a shotgun, and it took him 30 rounds to kill fucking 2 people. 30 shells.
Yeah, that's pretty sad if you don't know.
He was in an enclosed space either. It wasn't like outside where like you could reasonably miss. He was inside of a store chasing them down aisles.
That's pretty sad.
It is.
So Steve, there's a decent amount of problems right now with people ending lives, but here's a question for you. How do you feel about the fact that we're on the edge of having technologies that could potentially extend lives extensively, 200, 300-year expected lifespan, with things like telomere gene replacement therapy and printing organs and all this stuff? Once we have that, if that becomes widely available and it's affordable, how do we ethically regulate population?
I was going to say overpopulation disease is your biggest factor, I think, of that.
Yeah, so how do you regulate population? Do we have to go to a system where you have a limitation on how many kids you have? Do you have to opt for sterilization if you have your life?
Extra planets, man.
Either way.
Well, first of all, I think that we should start.
Space
God damn it, Shay, hang on. I think that we should start. First of all, if you're a flat earther, you need to get mandatory sterilization.
Yeah, I agree. I second that.
Yeah,
Let's
so
start
let's
with
there.
psychological help first and go from there.
No. Just go straight to mandatory sterilization.
Oh, let's not remove basic.
Because you know what, therapy takes time. You could procreate theoretically between the time you actually learn how to formulate a coherent thought, and you're no longer a flat earther. So this is it doesn't have to be permanent sterilization. I don't mean
Temporary
like
sterilization.
I don't mean like a vasectomy or something. We'll figure out something. Chemicals.
Well, vasectomies are reversible, so that's okay.
Unless they fucking remove everything,
We're not talking like hysterectomies where they completely gut a lady. So
isn't that a bilateral hysterectomy where they move the ovaries too?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Is it an orthomectomy where they remove the testicles? I know we got some medical people.
What was that thing that allows you to turn off the ability to jizz? Was that you who brought that up?
No, that was my ex-girlfriend. That's the ability to.
Wow.
There's a machine there. There's a little thing you can have put into your penis.
Valve.
It's a valve.
It's got a light switch basically, and it sits in the tank, and you can switch the sperm control on and off whenever you want. It's a legit thing that exists.
Yeah, you can. That way you can get the feeling of coming, and it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't come out.
So resistance is futile. We're now the Borg.
But to answer your question, okay, Pimp. To answer your question, Dave, I think that the problem that we're going to have when we start having people have longevity, and for those very reasons, is that the ramifications is that there are going to be overpopulation problems, and it's going to cause other issues.
Yeah. So, I mean, how do you think we ethically regulate that without people screaming, "Ah, you're taking away my rights to have as many kids as I want"?
I think for society's benefit, if it came down to it, that it'd be okay for me. I don't think I'd have a problem with like China having the 2-kid limit or something like that.
I've said that to people too, and it's freaked out. I was like, why not? Why not have a kid limit? I mean, we already don't have now.
Really? Yeah, I mean, look, if you want to have more kids, move somewhere else. But I mean, I think that for society's benefit, there might be some reasons for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, we don't live to start taking over planets.
You don't live in a society where you have complete freedom to do what the fuck you want. You have to abide by certain conditions altogether to be functional with each other. So again,
freedom of speech, though. Rawr.
Pimp has to go here soon. He's not feeling well. He was very gracious enough to come on today.
Yeah, I hate that, but I'm sorry I joined your show the day I'm sick.
I'm always sorry you joined my shows.
Yeah, that's the reason you keep sucking my dick to bring me back.
Oh goodness!
And wait. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I will be on your show on Tuesday morning with the most brilliant person on the planet, Mr. Landon Kurt Knoll.
Yes, and also Godless Engineer John Gleason will be on.
Jonathan. Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
And Shayra should be with us as well, and we're gonna discuss. I'm actually gonna talk about religion.
Yeah,
people don't want want me to do it, so I'm like, okay, I'll do it, but it's not going to be the way you want me to do it. But
Godless has got back in faithless form, so he probably has a lot to talk about with that.
He's an old friend of mine. John's an old friend of mine, and I love him to death. So, yeah. She was going to say something. I was giving her.
Yeah, I was waiting for 2. I'm like, okay, what Mel?
Oh no! So I have to go because I have to record a podcast in like 1 minute. So.
You have to go make a sandwich. That's what you got to go do.
Yes.
Oh yeah, not for any of you guys.
For myself. All right, guys. I got another show coming up. Actually, later we're going to be having Kirsten on, the astronomer, and Red's Rhetoric, I believe. And that's Tuesday. No, Red's is Tuesday. What do we got today? Fucking, what are we doing today? What do we have going on today? Oh my god!
Steve. Was it the not a good look, Steve?
Yeah, I don't know. We have things blend together. What was the event today, Dave?
Was it the contradictions, the Bible thing?
Contradictions. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that was the other. No, that was Stephen DeMonte the other day. What do we have going?
Did you stream that? Because I seen you post about it.
He did, but Kyle made a private because of the technical issues we're having.
Steve needs a handler right now.
I gotta check my schedule. I know shit. I need a secretary.
I need a handler too, so I completely understand. I'm on 3 different things today, so
I have Microsoft scheduler thing and whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, notifications don't always work.
That's They never work.
Well, thanks for having me on. I gotta go.
All right,
Bye.
thanks, Mel. Always a pleasure. We'll be ending this in a few minutes as soon as I figure out what the fuck's going on today.
Okay.
Not a good
Sort
look,
it
Steve.
out. Sort it out.
Oh,
This is fun.
I got it real quick. You're gonna love this. It's Sci-Fi Sunday. We got Kirsten, Astro Kitten. Astro Kirsten is her name, Astro Kitten. And we're gonna be talking about gravity, dark matter, and everything else in the galaxy.
Awesome.
Sweet.
At 5 Eastern, or excuse me, 6 Eastern.
That
No,
sounds
9
good.
Eastern. 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. There we go. We'll get it out.
I'll be on Sci Strike in an hour, so I have
Guys,
an
go
audio.
watch Sci Strike. He has a great channel too. He has great stuff.
Yay, we're talking about climate change. So
It's a hoax. It's a hoax.
It's completely made up by the energy corporations. For a
I
reason.
mean, obviously, like it's fucking spring and it's winter.
You know, it says it snowed today, and it's April 8th.
Snowed
in
here.
a deciduous area. So
Trump ain't been here long and he already fixed climate change.
I have
Yeah.
Hellbent on my show tomorrow, Steve.
Who?
Hellbent. You don't know who Hellbent? He's got like 175,000 subscribers. He's a pretty popular guy. He's got a really good voice. He's a voice actor and all that stuff.
Doesn't sound
Yeah, he's
I'll
really good.
I'll watch. I'll drop by. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being on your show again on Tuesday.
And your buddy Frank's gonna be on as well. So
which but I got a lot of Franks. Which one?
the geek room. Fucker.
Oh, that guy, Frankie. Oh, Frankie. Oh, fuck him.
He's a gay guy.
He's you know what? Fuck him.
Always in the
He has
closet.
better hair than all of us, so screw him.
He does have better hair.
All right. Good night.